And yeah, fasting is definitely the key. This is the thing, right? The truth is that most of the foods, the preservatives, the facts that that they took food out of nature and put it in a supermarket that made food not what it is. And because of that, even the organic and the natural food still gotta get preservatives added to it so it can last on the shelf. So um fasting is really mandatory. I try to fast at least like 3 times out of a year, going like a hard fast. So this fast that I'm doing now, um, I'm gonna end the fast my birthday, which is coming up next month, July 19th. Cancer gang, cancer gang. But yeah, I decided to. I know I've been eating crazy, and another thing when I was back home, I had quit smoking weed for about 4 months. Got around the ignorance. It's like, no, I can't even blame the people. It was calling me. Pookie was calling me, and I fell victim. Started smoking again, and I'm kind of happy I did relapse this time because it showed me the cycle way clearer. You know what I mean? And 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 it was just like in my mind at first, like, I'm just take a couple pulls. It ain't about nothing. And then I'm talking about within no time, I find myself damn near back to how I used to be, rolling my own blunts. It's like, bruh, we just overcame this. Why are we back here? And I'm not even gonna lie, a part of me does like it. That high, especially once I smoked that blunt. And for y'all that know that hypnotic money music, I made most of that music sober. But when I'm telling you, once I got high and I put that music on, I said, what? That shit was different. Like I'm for real, it was just like a whole different. And that kind of like that was my excuse to roll again. You know what I mean? The music, it's just like you get deeper in it. And I realized that within no time it became a dependency where it's like I'm bored, let me smoke. Every time and that could be just every time I'm not high, I'm bored. And once I realized that, I was like, nah, time to end this. And yeah, I just made up my mind that I'm gonna end it with my fast. Because if I just be like, yo, I'm gonna quit, and then other people, I'm still around people that's smoking. It's a little harder. But I said, you know what? This date, I'm giving up weed. I'm giving up all food. I'm giving up sugar. I'm giving. If it ain't natural, if it don't grow from the ground, I don't want it for a whole entire month. And that made it way easier because weed is not just the only thing on the forefront. But I'm not relapsing again. I didn't like it. And for y'all that do smoke weed, when you quit for a long period of time and then you go back, it's like it had me in a slumber for a week. Like probably a week or two was just a fog where I'm just smoking high as hell, waking up, and this is like eating snacks, waking up, crumbs, shit on the wilding for real. I'm being all the way honest. And even as a spiritual teacher, the best could fall back into those cycles. So I don't come up here and try to make it seem like I'm better than y'all. I done beat all the cycles. Nah, I'm still fighting myself. You get what I'm saying? The fight continues every single day. But like I said, sometimes you gotta go backwards to see how far you came. And going backwards is not a problem. Staying backwards is. You know what I'm saying? Life gonna test you. And nobody's perfect, but the goal is to work towards perfection. You know what I mean? So I'm back now, clear eyed now, and I don't plan on going back to that shit. I don't like the fog that it put me in, for real. But let me see what the comments juice. Yes, they was. But yeah, that book, The Mucus's Diet, I do have that book in PDF. So if somebody want to read that book, for the people that don't know about that book, um, it was a book that was written, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the 1950s. And it was this white dude that caught some type of disease, and whatever disease he had, basically the doctors was telling him he had a certain amount of time to live. And this person was wealthy, so he had the money, but the doctors was like, yo, it's nothing we could do. You got this amount of time to live. And he, went to another spot, went to a better doctor, and let me see. He started using his money, and they like, no, you got this amount of time to live. And he came to the conclusion that since I'm about to die anyway, I'm not about to be just sitting here suffering every day, waiting to die. Look like, nah, I'm gonna make this shit happen faster. And he stopped eating. He just went completely cold turkey with intentions to help himself die faster. And when he stopped eating, the opposite happened. Literally, he started healing. And this is the same thing that Dr. Sebi was teaching before he died in 2017. If I don't believe I believe Dr. Sebi died in 2017. Dr. Sebi, a black older guy, healing people from every disease you could possibly name, um, and actually got locked up for saying that he could cure people for AIDS and cancer and all of these uncurable diseases, and went to trial in New York and um beat trial, brought in 75 witnesses. I mean, not witnesses, 75 basically people on his side showing that he healed them. And one of the main things was that, Dr. Sebi wasn't an actual doctor, but um he never diagnosed it, none of these people. These people came to him saying, my doctor said I got this. He said, all right. So you could get locked up for doing a diagnosis if you're not a doctor. He never did that. So once he healed them, then he sent them back to their doctor and they say, yo, I don't know what you did, but you're healed. Which show now he got the diagnosis of the before and after from medical doctors, not from himself. So this was his fight in court. Like, yo, I'm not the one, you know what I'm saying? I'm not acting as a doctor. I'm acting as the healer. And the fact that he didn't use medicine, he used herbs, that was another reason why they couldn't lock him up as saying you're a doctor or falsinating the doctor. Because he's not using medicine. So I brought Dr. Sebi up because when we heard about Dr. Sebi, most people think like this perception of healing by eating clean, this whole idea of healing by fasting and not eating, that was the first time it was really introduced. But the guy that wrote the book, the mucusless diet, was about 50 years before Dr. Sebi, basically teaching the same thing. And he died suddenly. They say that he had some new shoes on and he went outside and slipped and hit his head. But we get it. We know what really happened, you know. So the main thing though is this understanding that food is one of the biggest vibrational killers. It really is. Especially if you're a person that's still eating meats. And I'm not saying this because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm vegan, so I want to be a meat fighter or none of that. But it's just dealing with reality. So when we was in the dark age, for y'all that don't understand this, the dark age mean the last 6,000 years we were in a spiritual dark age, which means we were in a winter. The winter, the spiritual dark age mean basically we disconnect from spirit and we're fully immersed in physical. That's why everything was about the physical thing. Whoever had the biggest muscles, the biggest army, the biggest swords, the biggest guns, that's who win. Because the physical is a force. I could take over. I could take your land. I could, you know, what they do to the women, and they, all the evil they was doing. That's all was the masculine shit because of the spiritual, the magic, the voodoo, that was gone. It was missing because we was in that such in a dense energy at the time. But after the winter ends, just like our regular winter, the spring is next. And this is what we're going through now. We're in the spiritual spring. This is why so many people is waking up. This is why people wanting to eat healthy. This is why people wanting to fast in the first place. This is why people is disconnecting from those physical based religions and connecting more to spirituality. This is why people is waking up with intuition, connected. Is the gods is back. The goddesses is back too, as our ancestors call them, the netter are back. The spirits are back. We have access now. So I said all that to say, when we was in a dark age, eating meat didn't matter at all because everything was dense. Everything was based on density. So the more dense you could pack, the more force you are as a person. You get what I'm saying? And because it wasn't about energy. But now we're not in that time no more. So now you got to look at it. You're not eating the food for the density. You eating the food for the energy now. So you got to ask that question. What kind of energy is in the food that you eating? And it's intentionally, they're putting fear energy into this meat. If you see the way they kill the chickens, if you see the way they kill the cows, it's not humane. It's not a good way. The cow ain't dying smiling. It's dying full of fear. And the thing is, if you was to go to the supermarket and instead of taking that meat and putting it on a frying pan and feeding it to your kids and eating it, if you was to take it to a lab and you was to say, I want you to check this meat and to see is it alive, the the scientist gonna say, yes, every cell in this steak is alive. And if the meat wasn't alive, it would smell dead. You know what death smell like. If a rat died under your stove, it'll stink your whole house up. Not a rat, a mice, a little mice. So now we talking about a piece of steak, right? That steak not dead. And if it was, you would be smelling it the same way you'll smell that dead mice. Every cell in that steak is alive. So when you're eating it, you're eating those cells. But you're eating the cells, and the cells carry a certain energy because you're only eating it to get the energy. After you digest it, you're gonna poop that out. You only keep the energy. The energy is fear based. And then you wonder why you have anxiety. Then you wonder why you think negative about everything. All that is that energy trying to express through you now. If you embody the fear, you got it in you, it's gonna want to express through you. If you full of fear, it's gonna express through everything outside of you. So we gotta stop eating fear and we gotta become more intentional about what we put in our body. And the honest truth is, I wouldn't even be here right now. It's a good chance I'd probably be dead or in prison doing a life sentence if it wasn't for me learning about Dr. Sebi and changing my diet. Some people probably see me, hear the knowledge I got, watch videos, and probably think like, "Oh, this he was born into this," and I definitely wasn't. Like, you could go check my page, you could see my mug shots. I probably got more mug shots than some of y'all got post, like literally. So I've been in and out of jail. I was a gangbanger. I've been deep in the sleep state. So that's why I understand it so much because I had to overcome so much to get where I'm at now. So I only speak off my own experience. That's why I say ask me anything because I'm not regurgitating some shit I read. I'm actually talking from my experience. And um my transition from a gangbanger asleep to this conscious quote unquote genius, as some people view me as, it only happened because I changed my diet. And I changed my diet just because once I heard about Dr. Sebi, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try his diet. If it don't work, if I don't feel different, I'm gonna go back. I already had my plan. I'm gonna go right to McDonald's, get me a number one with extra mac sauce on my shit, the same way I used to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna try it. If the shit don't work, it ain't like I'm doing it because I'm religious or I'm doing it because somebody forcing me. I'm doing it because this make too much sense. And the fact that he literally not only beat the state, but after he beat the state, the feds picked up his case. Then he beat the feds. So I know he not lying. So now I'm like, all right, let me see for myself now. Let me see why they don't got him on TV. Why Dr. Sebi ain't on the news everywhere saying, yo, this guy uh cured AIDS, he cured uh sickle cell anemia, he cured all of these uncurable diseases. Why are they not televising him, pushing him out? And I'm still seeing commercials talking about donate the cancer society. We trying to figure out the cause for cancer. Nigga, that shit been figured out. He already cured people of cancer. So why we trying to figure out some shit that he already figured out? What the fuck is we doing? So that shit made me say, you know what? I'm gonna try his diet, and I ain't had no disease or nothing. Well, at least I didn't think I had a disease. I actually did have a disease that I didn't know I had. And the thing is that when you start eating healthy, it don't only just remove physical diseases, because I knew that for sure I didn't have no physical disease, but it removes emotional diseases. It removes mental disease. You got to think about the word, what it is. What is dis-ease? Dis-ease. So ease means flow, flows easily. Dis-ease means stops the flow. Anytime something stops the flow, death shows up. If your blood flowing and you got the good flow, it's almost, you're gonna be healthy. Flow and health run together. That's why yoga and meditation run together. You gotta basically stretch first. So once you become still, it's a flow within you. The stillness ain't no frozen. The stillness is a flow that's flowing inside, and the outside gets still. You get what I'm saying? So anything that stops movement causes death. And this is not even just in the physical body. If you just look at your car, if you stop driving your car for 3 months, just leave it alone and you come back to it and try to start it up, it's not going to start up. The battery, who drained your battery? You'll probably look at your tires, they'll be flat. You'll probably see all of this stuff start collecting on your car, paint start chip, just from sitting there, just from not being used. You get what I'm saying? It's a word, I think it's called entropy. Somebody in the comments can help me out, but it's a word for that. Basically, if you stop moving, death comes. If you lay in the bed, you'll start getting uh bed sores just because you laying there. Like, stillness creates death, right? So the alkaline diet is just 100% about movement within you. And like I said, I didn't know that I had a disease, but I did have a disease. I had a mental disease, mental stuckness. I had emotional stuckness. And literally, like I said, if I never changed my diet, I wouldn't even be the person that I am today. So, um, it may seem like it's not that important, but it may be the most important thing you could possibly do. And it's not easy. You think that I want to eat fruit for fucking a month? Like, I wanted, you know, I want some something crunchy. Yeah, but I want some chips. I want to bite a piece of a pizza, a motherfucking cake. I want that shit, but at the end of the day, I don't want that shit more than I want peace within myself. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, that shit is like, no, it's still magically delicious. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna eat death because it tastes good. Like, literally, that's what we doing, man. I ain't gonna lie, this shit tastes good as hell. Fuck man. It don't taste that good that if you eating this, it could fuck around and take 5 years off your life. It ain't that good. So I'm definitely gonna go to the that you said that I go to the farmers market. You could go to the farmers market, you could go to Whole Foods, You could go to a lot of these stores and still get fake food. Promise you. So, um, what you really gotta do, because once it's a difference between eating alkaline and eating healthy. Alkaline, that's what Dr. Sebi had me eating when I first changed my life. Alkaline mean it grows from the earth naturally, meaning you could find it in the wild. That's alkaline. Vegetarian, somebody say I'm a vegetarian. Don't mean you eat alkaline. You could be a vegetarian, you eat carrots. Carrot is not a natural um vegetable. You can't find carrots in the wild because carrots is made from a wild yam and something else mixed together. So it's really a GMO. Same thing with broccoli. The same thing with pineapples. The same thing with a lot of stuff that I could name. You could look at Dr. Sebi list. You'll be seeing a lot of stuff missing. You eat alkaline, it's like you eating God for real. And that's the main thing why they try to disconnect us from eating alkaline, because the sun is giving light to the tree. So where did that tree get its energy from? The sun. The same sun that they blocking, trying to block with chemtrails and this and that. That energy just went into this tree, and this fruit now bears that life force. So when I'm eating this, I'm actually eating the sun. This is just the mediator. And the sun is giving off this awakened energy. So just think about this. This is something real simple. Uh, Why is organic foods more expensive? Like, when you really think about it, do it even make sense at all? Like, so let's look at this. So I got non-organic. Mine not organic. So because mine not organic, this is what I gotta do. This is what my process look like. I gotta get all of this soil, and I gotta build this place. I gotta get these lights. I gotta get this fertilizer. I gotta do a lot to make this fake fruit, right? And I gotta, after doing everything I gotta do, I still gotta go pick it, right? I still gotta package it, right? So just think about that. The fact that you gotta do all this extra shit, that should cost more. Like, I'm sure you got a light bill from that, from them lights that you use, the pesticide spray that you gotta spray, and I'm sure that costs the fertilizer, because you're not planting it in the ground. I'm sure that costs the space that you're growing it in. I'm sure that costs. So if you say, you know what, I want a couple more dollars for my GMO fruit because I had to put some more money into this shit, I would say, oh, respectfully, right? But it's not that way. They do all that extra shit and say, here, this is the cheapest. But then the natural fruit, one apple, one apple got about 5 seeds in it. Each seed could give you an entire new apple tree. The new apple tree could give you so many apples that I can't count. It's literally abundant, season after season of apples. That's just one tree. But this one apple gave me 5 trees. But this one tree got 1,000 apples on it. And each apple got 5 trees in it. We talking about abundance on abundant. Nature is just abundant. It gives abundantly. And you ain't even got to do no work, because back in the day, all you got to do is eat the apple and then take a shit. Your shit was fertilizing. The seeds that you ate just went into the ground. Another tree just came. You ain't even do shit, but shit. That was the natural way. But now, so it's so easy to grow all of this natural shit, and all we got to do is just pick it. All you got to do is just pick it off the tree. You don't got to water it. You don't got to give it sunlight. You don't got to do nothing but let nature do what nature do. Why are you charging me more for that? Why? It don't even make sense. This is easy. You ain't even put no work in. The universe gave it to you for free. Why are you charging me so much? But the shit that the universe didn't give you for free, the shit you had to put all this effort in, you want to give me that for cheap. And just viewing that, I tell you, it's a bigger scheme. I will go through the most to get you to eat this lesser fruit that I'm giving you for cheaper because it don't awaken you. It don't connect to the sun. It don't connect you to you. That's why it's cheaper. To keep you sleep. I pay a little extra to keep you sleep. And if you want this real fruit, oh, you gonna have to you have to give me yeah, top dollar for it. So that shit, this whole shit is designed. That's why, like I said, and when you go into these stores, you got to understand that you could go on Whole Foods. Literally, I made a video of this. I went in Whole Foods. 80% of the food in there fake. The only foods that's real, it starts with the letter 9. If it starts with a 3, starts with a 4, starts with a 6, or start with an 8, it's fake. You could go to Walmart, you could go to a lot of these places, you won't see no 9s at all. I'm talking about not one. They don't sell real food, right? So this shit is like, so that's why fasting is important, because if you eating all of these poisons constantly, constantly eating poison, because yes, you're eating poison. There's nothing you could do about it. Like, I eat poison. When do you give your body a break? And this is something that Dr. Sebi explained as well. He said that when we fast, when we eat, it's literally a whole war going on. It's a war going on within you. That's how you could just wake up, you could eat this good meal, and now you talking about I'm tired again. How are you tired again? I thought the food was supposed to give you energy, not take your energy, because that wasn't food. And now it's a whole fight going in within you. That's what's taking your energy. So Dr. Sebi explained, when that fight stops, your cells automatically starts to say, all right, it's nothing to do. Let me start repairing. And it start looking for stuff to repair. But I don't got no time to be fixing my roof, fixing the roof, even though it been leaking for the last couple of days. I don't got no time to be fixing the roof if intruders trying to break in my house. You get what I'm saying? Because if they get in my house, fuck the roof, we gonna be up out of here. Your cells view it the same way. I don't got time to be trying to fix nothing. I gotta fight this war to make sure we live first. But once the war subside within you, all your cells go back to healing mode. This is naturally, our body do this automatically. And this is why in every spiritual system they talked about fasting and the power of fasting. And also once you realize, once you start fasting, downloads just come in constantly, because you're connected. When you eat of nature, or when you're of nature and you're not feeding um the poisonous programs within you, you automatically connect to spirit. So yeah, I could go on and on and on and on about why I fast. Um, but it's just not me, quote unquote, you must say, starving myself. Like, no, at all. I'm actually doing the opposite of starving myself. I'm actually feeding myself for once. Go to the comments real fast. Somebody said, doesn't it? Well, Ikea said, doesn't it help raise your consciousness? 100%. Because dense foods create dense energy. Dense energy takes you right into programming. High vibrational energy takes you into consciousness. It allows you to be more aware. It allows you to be more alert, because you have more flow within you. Everything is communicating better. And when everything communicate within you better, you see outside better. We all looking through filters, whether you believe it or not. But some of us are looking through a filter of fear. That's why everything looks scary. Some people are looking through a filter of poverty. That's why everything looks like it's taking your money and trying to get me, and everybody trying to rob me, and everybody trying to. So your filter is the thing you actually really need to change, and that's basically your conscious glasses. Consciousness is awareness, and if you're not aware of the filter, you can't even see yourself for real. One, we got to start growing our own food again, and as long as you still relying on somebody to feed you, you're still a slave. That's just how it is. There's nothing you could do about it. If your dog rely on you to feed them, that mean, nigga, your dog ain't shit without you. So if you relying on this system to feed you, you ain't shit without this system. And this is the reason why we can't separate from it. This is the reason why we can't free ourselves. And this is the reason why we normalized eating poison, because we not the ones choosing what we eat. We got other people choosing it for us. And then we go in the supermarket and feel like we got a choice, but you ain't even choosing. You picking. You only got to pick from what's already here. But the real food that you want is not an option. So you think, man, I'm like this because I chose this. I chose to eat this way. You ain't even choosing the way you eat. And we so conditioned where it come with like, man, convenient. It's convenient. It's right there. Being people of habit, we're gonna go with what's convenient. But if your food was in your backyard, right there, that's way more convenient. Way more convenient. And then the honest truth, certain states got laws where you can't even grow your own food. You have to get locked up. What you in here for? Growing lettuce? Damn, nigga, you got a bag for growing lettuce? You talking about weed? No, regular lettuce that I eat. Like, shit crazy in certain states. Say they make it less convenient for us to grow our own food with the cost of living being so high. Nah, if you in a state where you could grow your own food, the cost of living being so high is what keeps us in the system of having to go to work. And then if you got to go to work and you working 8 hours a day, so this is what's taking your time to not allow you to take control over your own life. You don't even want to work, but the only reason you working because you got to pay your bills. You get what I'm saying? So it's like one thing. This whole system just need to get balled up and thrown in the garbage. But we can't do that anyway because we don't know how to self-sustain. If this system was to crash right now, 80% of the people would be begging for the system to come back because they don't know. Most people don't know how to sustain, don't know how to live. But literally, I ain't going. This the whole thing. I could focus on all of the stuff. I could talk about the deodorant with the metals in it. I could talk about the toothpaste with the fluoride. I could talk about the clothes we wear. Certain clothes lowers our vibration. I could talk about a whole bunch of stuff um that they try to do to keep us in a low vibration, but that ain't gonna help. That ain't gonna help the live. It ain't gonna help nobody. You get what I'm saying? It's more important about what could we do to fix the issues, and not even just the fabric of our clothes. Just even putting on sneakers. Um, being like literally every morning when I come up meditate, especially being that it's summer now, I make sure I come out here and ground. It's a damn, I don't remember the name of this book, but it's a book that talk about grounding and the importance of grounding and how healing it is to take your socks off, step in that grass, allow yourself to like connect back with nature. That connects us back with nature. So just having sneakers on, rubber. If I'm not trying to get electrocuted, what do you think I'm gonna have? Rubber gloves on. So why do you got on rubber sneakers? Rubber sneakers does the same thing. It don't allow you to have an electric current. You know what I'm saying? So um everything. We really supposed to be out this motherfucker. I ain't gonna say naked, but females like females especially um like our body is meant to absorb sunlight. So in ancient times, females walked around with no shirts on. Males walked around with no shirts on. But it was a different mentality. Like you ain't have men looking out the window. There go some titties, like drooling. Like a titty was normal. Like everybody got them. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we were super sexualizing everything. You know what I mean? So now they made it where, with porn and rap music and these songs and all of this stuff, they sexualize females so much that when we see a female, we don't even see divine feminine. We see something to fuck, to the point where, when I was in my sleep states, yo, bro, we about to go. Yeah, man, I'm about to go get some pussy. Like, we literally would disassociate the entire person and just talking about I'm about to get some pussy. Like, that pussy ain't connected to a person. And saying that regularly in the hood, yo, bro, you about, man, about to get some ass. Like, who the ass on? It's a person that's connected to that ass. You talking about some boy butt? Man, what type of ass you talk about? You know what I'm saying? We just totally disassociate the person from the body part. Whereas, like, bro, you're not about to go get no ass. You're about to go mingle with a whole entire human being. You're about to transfuse energies into each other. Like, you about to go through sexual alchemy for real. Like, sex is not just what we think about. And we made it so, like, and it's intentionally. It ain't like we agreed, like, and and it goes so unnoticed. Like, if I was to say that to a person in the hood, that's just normal. Nah, I'm about to get some pussy. That's normal language. You get what I'm saying? But being conscious, viewing it, you like, wow, how you just separate the whole person from, you know what I'm saying? As I was saying though, is in ancient times we didn't have that type of mindset where we looking all lustful, just, you know what I mean? And I really feel like that was done intentionally as well, because the female. So during the dark age, the masculine was the power. It was the force. That's why you even see these movies, these kings, uh, this and this and that. Like, they don't stop until they have a son. And if the wife don't bear a son, they go have sex with somebody that ain't the queen just to try to get a son. The peasant done had the baby. Now the peasant baby is about to be the next king, because it was all about masculine energy. The female was literally reduced to nothing. And we got to understand that that was just the time frame where masculine energy dominated. And when masculine energy dominate, feminine energy automatically gets suppressed. And this is why the whole in religion, the female always looked at as the bad one. She ate the apple. What the fuck? How the fuck? What the fuck was Adam doing when this snake was talking to his wife? Like, protect her. You supposed to be protecting her. And you got this damn snake talking to her, and all, even though it's fake when I'm mentioning, but still, they just still paint this narrative like the females fuck this shit up, type shit. Like, you know what I mean? And that was intentionally done, because feminine energy don't just have to do with female. But if we could take the power from the female, we can make the female, reduce the female to basically nothing, to just a piece of ass. Then we're literally taking the power and reducing it to nothing, because feminine energy is the power, rather you want to believe it or not. The heart is feminine, it's magnetic, it draws things to it. It's a magnetic field. It creates the field that is your aura field. It creates the vibration. It creates the frequency. It's the creative energy. It creates everything that's in creation. This is feminine. This is the power. This brain up here is masculine. It's direct. It's directive. It's a force. It's supposed to protect. It's a protective. Um, it's electrical. It's not magnetic. And electric sees things only in one way. It don't create a field. It create a force. Mean my way or the highway. The heart is not my way or the highway. The heart is our way. It's all about merging. It's about balancing. That's why they say think outside the box. The brain is a box. It compartmentalizes everything. It literally is designed to separate you. The heart is a circle. It's a cycle. It's a rhythm. It's designed to pull everything back. So this whole thing is, if I could make this feminine energy something that is nothing, is weak, it ain't shit, nobody, then I take the power from the people. Everybody want to be masculine. Everybody like, bro, you ain't doing nothing but just keeping something that's already going. Masculine energy is what creates sameness, continuous. It's what allows you to experience the infinite. Because I'm gonna focus my mind on this so deep that this is all that exists within me. That's what this mind does. It focuses you because as spirit, we're everything and nothing at the same time. So it's concentrated mind that allow us to have experience. But if you want to go back to who you truly are as your God self, having power over all, you got to get out of the concentration state of mind and go back into the oneness mind, which is really through the feminine that you connect to that part of mind. It's the subconscious that don't see things linear as a line. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got a lot of reprogramming to do because we've been fucking programmed to not have power, and that is not that was done intentionally. And even blending that into not going back into the food shit, but just so you can see this clear, um, you don't even eat male meat. Let that sink in. You don't eat bull. You only eat cow. You don't eat rooster. You only eat chicken. Really think about that. Because feminine energy is what holds energy. That's what holds energy. The heart is what holds energy. So they only slaughtering the females. And then they'll tell you, oh, that's because the bull meat is it's rougher and a whole bunch of lies. Whole bunch of lies. You know what I mean? Rougher meat. Like you better tenderize that mother. Like what are you talking about? Rough meat to get tenderized. Like what we doing with all these bulls then? Why we not eating them? You only eat cow. You only eat chicken. Because that's what holds energy. And then in ancient times, like I gotta bring this up talking about the cow. In ancient times, the cow was literally considered as the representation of the divine feminine in every culture. Like literally, you look into the Hindu culture, they worship the cow. That's where the holy cow comes from. The Milky Way. That's where that come from. You go into ancient Egyptian culture, or Set, which the Greeks call Isis. She was a cow deity. The deity that represented love. Love is all. Love is the expression of life. Hathor. Hathor is a cow deity. And then all of these cow deities had the two horns. Oh, now we can see why the devil got two horns. Now we can see why the devil got two horns. Yeah, they made the feminine energy into something demonic because how could I get you to stop practicing what your ancestors been practicing for thousands and probably not millions of years? How? How could I get you to stop? By getting you to believe that it's demonic because in by nature nobody want to be evil. So if I could teach you that what's natural is evil and what's distorted is good, you would be happy as hell living in distortion. Happy as hell. And that's really how we are right now. Distorted like a motherfucker. But the minute you start talking about something that's of power, then we like throwing up the cross. Blasphemy. That's evil. Calling on your ancestors, that's evil. You harness in the light of the sun and using it voodoo. That's evil. But I'm like, ain't your phone using the same electricity that come from the sun? Why your phone not evil? Ain't the plants getting the light from the sun too? So all your food, this juicy apple, plum, Banana, it all comes from that same electricity that comes from the sun. So is fruit, vegetables, and food evil too? The devices that you shaving, you got batteries, or you connecting it to the socket, that's electricity. Electricity comes from the sun. So is your clippers evil? Is your vibrator evil? Is everything that use this light energy considered evil? Or it's only evil when my black ass put it in my skin, something that everybody can't do, and I use it. Now it's evil. Now you want to make it evil. But when you use it with everything else, it's okay. But if I take that same energy and I direct that energy with my mind to manifest something into my life, you want to call it voodoo. How? And the thing is, rather you know it or not, you doing that anyway. You doing that anyway. How you think your negative shit showing up in your life? Who you think doing that? You're just not consciously aware of the energy that you taking in and what you doing with it because you're on an automatic cycle to keep you down. So you doing it, you using that sun energy anyway. You just using it against yourself. Why you think you stuck in cycles? You did voodoo on yourself, if we want to call it voodoo, because you felt the energy over and over and over, and you connected it with a lie, but the lie don't matter. The fact that you vibrated on that frequency over and over, you created a pattern out of it. And once you created a pattern out of it, now you don't want to feel like that, and your body making you feel like that. That's voodoo on yourself, just unconsciously. And then I could remove the word voodoo, and then I could replace it with that's hypnosis on yourself. And then I could take the word hypnosis, remove that, and I could say that's reprogramming on yourself. Because all of them shits mean the same thing. Voodoo, hypnosis, reprogramming, it's all the same thing. But when I say reprogramming, everybody is more um suggestible to it. You're more open. Oh yeah, I'm open to reprogram. Oh, so you're talking about remove this program that's within me and add another program in me. That's reprogramming? Yes, that's what hypnosis is. That's what voodoo is. Being intentional about your energy. You're doing it anyway. Just be intentional about it. Direct it. Take the wheel. Instead of letting your life be drove by your programming, which is your ego, your false self. If you don't take the wheel, don't complain about where you end up at. Because you had the chance to take the wheel and drive where you wanted to drive. But since you let the car drive and it drove you into a dead end, now you want to complain about the dead end. Like, what are we doing? And this is what you got to understand about the programming. The programming gonna drive you where it always drove you at. Programming ain't gonna never switch and say, you know what? We've been driving Naeem to poverty for so long. I'm gonna drive him towards abundance today. Like, it ain't gonna make that decision for you. That's why it's called program. It's a cycle. It spins on itself. You gotta be the one to make that decision to say, you know what? I'm about to interrupt this pattern. What is a pattern? A pattern is just something that goes, it just happens and without you. I'm about to interrupt that pattern so I could do something different, so I could get something different. Because if you don't do nothing different, you're going to get the same results. If you think the same way you thought yesterday, feel the same way you felt yesterday, do the same shit you did yesterday, how you think tomorrow going to look? It's going to look just like yesterday. And then you wonder why I'm waking up and life feel like it's a fucking circle, because it is. Life is a cycle. If you don't break the cycle, the cycle could possibly break you. So this shit is really about just knowing who you are, knowing how you relate to these cycles and taking your power back. And even just to talk about like hypnosis for a second, just think about like how somebody come to me and they tell me, "Oh, I'm trying to quit smoking cigarettes." Like, like I said, I just recently had to quit weed a second time. But somebody coming to me saying, "Yo, I want to quit smoking cigarettes." And then I asked them, "Why do you want to quit?" Just really think about this, and then imagine this. Then they tell me, "Oh, I want to quit because I hate the way cigarettes smell. I live in New York. Cigarettes damn near $20 a pack, and then every time I'm done eating, it feel like I need a cigarette. When I first wake up, it feel like I need a cigarette. After sex, I need a cigarette. When I'm taking a shit, I need a cigarette. And then I just moved into this new building, and they don't allow you to smoke in the building. So I'm trying. I gotta smoke in the bathroom. I gotta get that. You just wrote a whole book about why you want to quit smoking." And I'm sitting there like, "That's it? You're done?" So if you got all of these reasons of why you want to quit smoking, why do you still go to the store and get cigarettes? Why do you pick the cigarette up, light it, put it to your lips, and pull it if you don't want to smoke cigarettes? I'm sure that nobody is holding you down, putting a cigarette in your mouth. Nigga, you gonna smoke this cigarette. So I'm sure nobody's forcing it on you. So why you doing it to yourself? And if you know you want to quit, why would you need me to help you? You the one gonna be there when the next cigarette come about. I'm not gonna be there. What the fuck could I do? So just thinking about this is like, all right, that do make a lot of sense. We should be able to quit the shit that we don't want to do no more. But why? Why can't you quit? Because of this thing called cycle. This thing called programming. This thing is on automatic. It happens whether you want it to happen or not. But the more you become aware of this thing, you could say, all right, now my nigga thing, you ain't just about to be controlling me, having me do shit that I'm telling somebody I don't want to do. And the only how you can get out of this unconscious cycle, this unconscious program, and that's why I keep saying unconscious. Because in order for you to pick this cigarette and smoke it and doing all, you got to be in an unconscious state. So this is why consciousness is so important. I don't meditate. I don't raise my consciousness just so I want to be a Buddha monk. No, I raise my consciousness because it helped me be aware, and being aware helped me see myself. How you gonna be aware? How you gonna see yourself if you ain't even aware of the problem? So consciousness brings awareness. Awareness allows you to be in the present moment when you got the cigarette in your hand. And you like, wow, I'm trying to quit. Why would I smoke that? The fuck am I doing? But if you're not aware, you're just in program and you're just doing what you normally do. You're not even doing it. At this point, it's doing you. So that's why you have to remove that program if it don't work for you. So if you're not reprogramming yourself, you fighting against yourself every day. This inner war. So when we start talking about hypnosis, I ain't letting nobody get it, hypnotize me, get in my mind. Like, what? You already hypnotized into a negative program. So now this is somebody that know how to get you out of that program and put a positive program, something you want in there. And there's definitely degrees of reprogramming. There's definitely degrees. You get what I'm saying? But it's people that 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 hit me up to quit smoking cigarettes that have been smoking cigarettes since they was 12, 13 years old, and they in their 40s. And I hypnotized them one time, they never smoked another cigarette again. I got people that have been procrastinating their entire life. Hypnotized them, they're not procrastinating. But then it's also people that I hypnotized that the cycle in them changed, but you still got to do the work. Hypnosis don't make life disappear. And a lot of our souls came here to overcome some shit. to overcome some shit, because the overcoming process is the becoming process. In order for you to become who you need to become, you need to overcome what you need to overcome. So hypnosis may be a way to make your overcoming process easier, but I can't overcome it for you. And the reason I can't overcome it for you, because you came here to be more. Your soul is going to be more after you overcome that thing. That's your soul's purpose. I can't interfere with that. All I could do is remove the hindrance that makes you stuck. I could remove the hindrance that make you not be able to see yourself. I could remove all of the programs that you didn't come here to be stuck in. But the shit that you came here to overcome, nigga, that's your work. I can't do that for you. But at the end of the day, if you don't start somewhere, nobody could do it for you. You got to do it for you. And it's like we all know what we need to be doing, but why we not doing it? Because of habits, because of patterns, because of cycles. You have to break them. You have to get out of this trance that you're in. And I ain't gonna lie, that's why I say, man, I'm kind of happy that I did relapse with the weed, because it put me in that's trance. I was in it. I was in it for about a week. Because my body wasn't used to smoking weed no more, and I'm around people that smoking blunts, and it's just like, so I'm out over smoking myself. I'm all just lazy as hell, laying like, and it took me under. And at this point in my life, man, I ain't think that I could be took over no more by a substance. But I needed that. I needed that bad. You know what I mean? To show me. Like, bro, you ain't above these cycles, nigga. You could get drowned again too. But now that I saw that, I said, all right, I know where I need to not be at. I know where I need to not put my energy into. And then I ain't even gonna lie, being back now that I ain't smoking about 5 days now, the clarity that I got, even coming on live, like I did come on one live where I was kind of like, and it wasn't the same. I wasn't there. I wasn't me. So it's like, man, I used to believe that helped me get into flow, and that shit don't. It's a false flow. You trying to escape reality when reality is the main thing you need to be tuning into. Fuck you trying to escape. You know what I mean? I'm not running from my problems no more. I'm running towards them motherfuckers. I'm done with running from my problems. I'm done with ducking my problems. No, I'm coming on head first. What's up? And then now I don't look at my problems like problems. I look at them like an obstacle. This obstacle is placed in front of me because when I overcome this obstacle, it's going to make me a better person on the other end of it. I'm not ducking that. I need that. And life threw a lot of obstacles at me lately, man. I'm arguing. I'm talking. I had an argument with my brother, and we, fuck you, nigga, suck my dick. Like got into that type shit, and later I had to like, bro, like he's all the way asleep. He's still gang banging in the streets and all of that shit, nigga. You're not. How did you allow him to pull you into that mentality again? And it's always the people that's closest to you that could do that. It's like, who else would have did that? Who else could have pulled me into that? Somebody I don't care about? Somebody that I don't have an emotional connection to? So you got to understand that the biggest test is going to come from the closest people to you. And everything in my soul wanted to blame him. And as much spiritual knowledge I give helping other people, I had to put myself in that seat. Like, bruh, if this happening to you, who you think attracted this? Fuck what he did. Why he did that to you? He could have did that to anybody in the world. It's billions of people. He chose you. Or did you chose him? Or was it a mutual? Because mutual energies is the only thing that materialize. So if he had this negative shit, you must have had the negative to match the shit and y'all met up. Why are you complaining about him helping you see yourself and see what's still in you that that you wouldn't be able to see without him? Ain't no stranger would have made you feel like that. So now I thank him. I thank him. Like, damn, you're right. I needed to see that that was still in me. And now that I see that that's still in me, I'm going to make sure I'm getting that out of me. Because if my brother could get me that mad where my old nah blood came back, like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm ready to punch, I'm ready to, if he could get me that mad, this my brother. I love him dearly. Imagine if somebody else pushed me to that limit. That's not my brother that I don't care about that much. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna wait till that happen. I'm about to remove this shit that's in me so nobody could trigger me like that. That's what taking responsibility is about. And the truth is, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I'm the victim, if you must say. But me playing the victim is only it takes my power away. So physically, I did nothing wrong. I the one got crossed. But spiritually, I gave out that negative energy that drew that into me. Nigga, that's the wrong I did. Spiritually, when that energy manifested in physical reality, I reacted to it in a negative way, which put more of that negative energy out. Nigga, that's what I did wrong. Because at the end of the day, no matter how that situation played out, my reaction, the energy I put out, only gonna affect me. It ain't gonna change the situation. So if I would have came peaceful the first time and would have been conscious and would have saw it, the situation would have stayed the same. But me putting out that negative energy, the situation stayed the same. But the only difference is I gotta deal with that negative energy that I put out. Because everything I put out gotta double back on me, no matter who I'm got in mind while I'm putting it out. Fuck the devil, and I'm putting out all this negative energy. The devil ain't gonna feel that negative come back. I am. So you point the finger, you point three at yourself, and you even blaming God a little bit. So now I'm like this. Everything on me. And the fact that everything is on me, I don't gotta wait for you to change, for me to change my reality. It's all on me, motherfucker. And I'm changing me, and I'm changing the way I feel. I'm changing the way I perceive this thing, and that changes my reality by itself. I don't even feel the same about that situation now that I'm grounded in truth. But my body ain't want to hear that shit. My body was like, nigga, we about to choke somebody. You know what I'm saying? My body want to wild out. It want to get physical. It want to do everything that it used to do when it feel disrespect. But my spirit, like, bro, what is disrespect? Fuck is that? You making shit up now? Just so you could connect some shit that ain't got to do with you to you? What do respect look like? What do disrespect look like? It look like anything you make it to be. Oh, you frowned your face? Oh, you disrespectful? Oh, you raised your voice? You're disrespectful. You looked at me wrong. You're disrespectful. Like, bro, this have nothing to do with my respect. This have something to do with your programs. You raising your voice because this is the only way you know how to communicate when you're frustrated. It have nothing to do with my respect. You never been frustrated and spoke calmly. Like if you talking to your mother and you frustrated, you yelling. You done yelled at God before. Now you want me to personalize it? Nigga, that's your cycles. So this is where I'm coming from now, but I needed to be tested, and I got tested hard. And then also life tested me when it was like one of my mans, which is like my brother, just died. So I'm dealing with a death, and then I'm collecting the money for the death. I got this going on. I fucking relapsed. I'm hot. So life would test you the most when they see you. Oh, he weak a little bit. I'm about to get his ass. Thought they got me. Thought they was gonna pull me back down into the sleep. And I pulled myself out of that shit, and it only made me stronger. So I'm blessed for the opportunity to go through what I went through because the overcoming process is the becoming process. How do you walk in your authority without putting out negative energy? So this is what you got to understand. It's not a choice that I just could do right now. So asking that question, like, how do you walk in your authority, you know, without putting out negative energy, it's from practicing putting out good energy every single day. This is the end result. That's why ritual is so important. You got to make a ritual out of positive because unconsciously you're in a negative ritual cycle anyway. If you feel bad at least one time out of the day, every day, that's a ritual. You do it ritualistically. Some people only brush their teeth when they first wake up. That's a ritual. You do it every single day. So now you just want to make a ritual out of positive energy. You got to make a ritual out of looking at a negative situation and making positive out of it. If you do that so much, and I'm not going to say when I first started, it was hard, but I did it so much, just like the negative cycles. If you do it over and over, eventually it's going to start doing you. So now my mentality, my mind looks for solutions without me even like, even if I'm talking about negative for too long, my brain will pick up like, yo, bro, this is we on the negative too long. Like it just shifts in me, but it didn't happen from just like me saying, yo, I'm about to change this. No, it just repetition, practice. You gotta be it, and you only gonna become it by practicing it. That's how you embody something through repetition. That's just another form of hypnosis. You gotta get it into the subconscious so your subconscious could pass it to your unconscious and you could be it when you're not aware of being it. So that's what it is. So right now, and I ain't even gonna lie, this is another thing that I realized too. I lost a lot of friends because this mindset. Everybody don't want no positive shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Everybody don't. Yeah, bro. I called you the vent, and you trying to, bro. If you just called me to trauma dump on me, and you think you're gonna trauma dump on me, and then hang up, and then I'm sitting there with all your motherfucking shit. You called the wrong person. I could hear out your shit, but we gonna motherfucking create a solution for it. But if you just coming to me for a problem and you don't want no solution, you're not trying to fix yourself. You just want to affirm it. Like you doing negative affirmations and you want to talk about, yo, nah, come join me. We about to do negative affirmations. No, the fuck we not. You can do negative affirmations by yourself because you repeating it, you feeling it. That's an affirmation. You affirming what you are and then complaining about being what you are. And I noticed that. I'm like, there were certain people that used to call me. They don't even call me no more. Yeah, like, I don't want to hear that positive shit. Motherfucker keep trying like, and it's not even like they necessarily choosing it. Their program don't fuck with me. I'm a program interrupter. You come around me with that unconscious shit, I'ma wake your ass up. Just from being around me, my light shines into the dark. So if you don't want this light on you, you better get your dark ass away from me. Don't call me with your darkness, cause I'ma put light on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I appreciate the lights, IKEA, but everybody don't want it. Everybody don't want to awaken. And as you can see in the Matrix movie, blue pill or the red pill. Some people actually chose to be asleep. Oh, yeah, I'll take that pill, but just make sure when I go into the Matrix, to give me a good job. I want to eat a nice steak. I don't want nobody coming to me trying to wake me up. I just want to be 100% lost in the experience. Some souls came here to experience that. And then here you come. Spirituality. Let me tell you. Let me help you. And they they don't they don't want what you got. And I had to realize, like, yo, everybody don't want what I got, and I'm perfectly cool with that. It's not gonna stop me from being who I am. But if you don't want to awaken and you comfortable in being asleep, just because you're my friend or just because I know you or just because I be around you, don't mean that I have to put my awakening on you. I'm gonna still be who I am, regardless. But I realized that um to a certain extent, we could become so spiritual that we lose touch with reality. And motherfucker like, yo, bro, I'm coming to you with a real problem, and you talk about spiritual laws, motherfucker. I don't want to hear that shit like that. Like, and I found myself there. So it's really still about a balance. You got to find balance within spirituality and humanology, if that's a word. Because at the end of the day, we are a soul, which is spiritual, having a physical experience. We can't just forget about the physical aspect of it. You know what I mean? So now that was kind of like one of my humbling lessons within the last week. Like, yo, you can't turn up your spirituality all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta tone it down to 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 match the person you're trying to get through to. And if you can only get through this much, like over, oh, this nigga, he listening, spirit bomb drop on your ass. And it's like, nah, bro, everybody ain't ready for that much. Some people just want to like spoon feed me. Give me a little bit of this. I'll see you next month type shit. I try to drop a year worth of shit on you at one time, and I'm like, everybody not ready for that. You know what I mean? Also, yo, when we be coming in with our light, imagine 5 o'clock in the morning, somebody busting your door open. You tired as hell, and they cutting the lights on. I'm like, wake up! You like, yo, cut the fucking lights off. You mad as hell. That's how we be to the sleep people. I ain't coming in here cutting the lights on. I'm trying to sleep. Now you just got to keep the lights on. Get next to them in bed. Start whispering shit to them. You know your ass sleep. I know you're tired of this shit. Going through the same cycles, waking up every day mad. You tired. Like you gotta meet them where they at. Like they be like they start talking back. Like you right. Come to the light. The light is over here. It will free you, motherfucker. That's how they get over there. You gotta meet them where they at. One of the craziest things too, though, when I was not back, abundance slowed up on me. It pulled the EBs on me like, I was like, damn. Oh, I just had like a slight Charlie horse coming in. I don't move too wrong. You know that Charlie horse could get crazy. Um, but nah, it definitely pulled the EBs on me like hoodie sales slowed up. You know the summer here, but it's like nobody wasn't booking nothing. It was just like when you get off track, life shows you, bro. You off track. What you doing? You ain't connected to abundance right now. Like, what you doing? So I'm definitely back, and I ain't leaving no more. Um, I love it over here. Word. It says crazy because I didn't think we could tell you we're foggy. No, definitely. Hell yeah. We all go through this foggy stages. Basically not having clarity, not being able to see clear. And no matter how advanced you are, you could get caught up in the fog. Well, while he getting his question together, I will explain this behind me. This right here. Hold on, hold on. This right here is what you would call a picture altar. So this is literally like an altar, but it's a picture. And as you can see, it say divine feminine energy. Yes, I call on the divine feminine energy because that is the real power. And if you can see in her hands, those are real crystals in her hands. So crystal right there. Then they got crystals coming across. Uh, you could put water in one, or you could put fire in both. But basically, that's like a altar because I do a lot of spiritual work out here. So that's like I would light this altar sometimes in the morning when I'm meditating out here. And um, yeah, it's basically Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi to the spiritual realm. If you want to connect easier, an altar is the way to connect easier. So, all right, so that'd be the last question right there. Then, he said, I can't even say he because it says sun ray beams. I don't know if that's a female or male. So I'm gonna say it, just being respectful. Love to hear how you started your alkaline diet or more on your journey. All right, so I'm gonna go into that without going too deep. Um, so basically, I was driving trucks and I was working at nighttime. I had like a night job, and I always would get off early, and I find myself in the house on my phone, just looking shit up. And I learned about Dr. Sebi, um, and me being a person that is an ex gangbanger. If somebody snitch under my set when I used to be gangbanging, that's stuff that I used to look into. So if you're a snitch and I look your name up, I'll pull your, it's public records. Ain't nobody tell you to tell on nobody. So when it comes to looking up um people court documents and stuff like that, this was something I already was into. You know what I'm saying? Being in the streets. So once I first learned about Dr. Sebi and they were saying that he had to go to trial in New York. I'm like, oh, that's public information. I want to read the trial. I want to see how it went. You know what I mean? And I went to searching, searching, public information, searching, can't find it. So when I couldn't find it, I'm like, so is this a lie? Did he not beat trial in New York? What the hell is going on? And I started digging even deeper to see like why I can't find his court manuscripts. This is supposed to be public information. And when I looked deeper, it literally said if a person is falsely convicted and it's 100% on the government, that's not public records. They don't record that. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. My nigga. So you trying to tell me that the government is admitting that they were 100% wrong about Dr. Sebi? That was just like a blow to me. Like, and this man on YouTube talking about he cured what with what? And this not known information to everybody. He done cure AIDS, cancer, blindness, sickle cell, all these fucking diseases. That blew my mind. So as I said, you know what? Nah, this shit is deeper than this. They hide something. There's no fucking way. Let me check this diet out to see why they hiding this motherfucker. And around the time Dr. Sebi had a a, a list out of these are alkaline foods. This is the only thing that's real. And I started looking at the list. I'm like, this list weaker than a motherfucker. I don't see chicken wings up this motherfucker. I don't see motherfucker lasagna. I don't see a lot of stuff I like. Like this motherfucker list is weak. You know what I mean? But I was just like, damn. So now I'm reading it. It's other foods I like damn, broccoli not up this motherfucker. Carrots ain't up here. Like shit that I'm thinking that was healthy. Like nigga, my whole life they've been telling me eat carrots. It's good for your eyes. And you trying to tell me, Dr. Sebi, this shit ain't even real? You know what I mean? Ain't eating broccoli, thinking I'm getting vegetables in Chinese store. It's only I like broccoli. Then this shit fake. So it was the information that was like mind blowing first. Like to have me like, yo, nah, this shit wow. So I'm not even gonna lie. At the time, I was the biggest I was. Weight wise, I probably was like 225, some shit like that. Not on a fat tip, but it was just like I had weight. So when I learned about the Dr. Sebi, I'm not even gonna lie. I went straight to eating alkaline. It ain't like I dove in it like I went from one day eating pork chops, macaroni cheese, and whatever the hell else you would fucking serve me that tastes delicious to just going cold turkey. Just if it ain't on this list, I'm not eating it. And I found myself sometimes getting off work 3 in the morning. looking for something to eat, and I'm talking about store after store after store. You can't even find alkaline food. I'm talking about nothing. So I ain't even gonna lie. At that time, I didn't have the information that I have now about how to cook, how I cook now. I didn't have the information about like the the mushroom game. That's a big part of giving up meat because the mushrooms is like a replacer. I eat mushrooms that taste like fried chicken. I eat lion manes that taste like steak. I eat it's a lobster mushroom. It's a mushroom for every texture of meat that you could possibly think about. And it's the texture that we like. It's not the food. You like the seasoning and that texture. So if I could duplicate that texture and give you that same taste, you gonna be like, nigga, this fried chicken. I don't give a fuck what you say. Even though it's a mushroom. I done made fried mushroom and gave it to somebody that know I don't eat meat, and they like, bruh, when you started eating chicken again, like they didn't even know that that was not chicken. That's how much I make it taste like chicken. But at the time, we gonna get into that, Kelly. At the time, I didn't have knowledge of how to cook healthy and how to cook the alkaline foods and none of that. So I ain't gonna lie, damn, they was starving, and I was just big on smoothies, making smoothies, carrying smoothies and fruit was my go-to for real. Um, you know what I mean? That was really my go-to. I lost about 50 pounds when I first switched over to alkaline because I didn't know. And then not only that, I didn't know. I didn't have nobody else that knew. This was in 2017. So it wasn't no information. It wasn't the TikTok ain't even wasn't even woke yet. Like the motherfuckers ain't even go through COVID yet. Everybody was still super sleep. You know what I mean? So when I made the conversion, it was just like starved for real. Where I'm like, man, I'm at the gas station, like, man, the only thing I could buy is dates. Like, I can't even I mean if I could be eating some dates then. Like, so it was hard. It was very hard. But now this would be my advice to somebody that's trying to make a transition to eating healthy. You don't have to take the hard route that I took. You could learn certain meals and just start incorporating them in daily by daily. You incorporate this meal out, you take that one out. Incorporate this one in, you take that one out. You incorporate until you got enough positive meals that you got rid of all of your negative meals. And right now, this ways where they got cheese you can make using cashews that literally taste like you, man. I don't eat macaroni cheese. I was like, nah. I had to stop and look at it and look up to God. And there's no way this not cheese. God, stop playing with me. Like, and it's like, no, no, that's not cheese. It's like, how? It tastes so cheesy. Like, you know what I mean? So now it's books, it's authors, it's way, 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 way easier to make the transition than when I made it. However, it's still about putting in that work. It's not gonna be easy. Nothing is easy. Breaking no cycles is easy because old cycles they feel like they dying when you break them. You ain't about to kill me, the old cycle says as he fights for his life. You get what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, really, that was my transition. And then I'm not even gonna lie, I stayed eating alkaline for 2 years, and then I started to be tested in my life, and I got tested to the max. I failed a big test, and I went to prison woke. Let me just say that I got caught with a gun, about to do some craziness that my old self would have did because I was put in a situation that my old self couldn't handle, and I wound up in prison. And when I went to prison, ain't no alkaline foods in jail. I'm gonna let you know that. Don't go to jail if you want to eat healthy. It ain't in there. So when I went to jail, I was almost forced back into eating negative foods. And I don't even want to admit this, but I'm gonna admit it anyway because if you keeping it real, gotta be keep it all the way real. When I first started eating that bullshit again, every time I used the bathroom, it was blood in the toilet. I used to be looking in the toilet like, nigga, am I on my period? Motherfucker, I've been bleeding for, yeah, it was crazy. And I guess it took for my body to become immune to the harshness of that food, and then I stopped bleeding. It was like, yo, that shit, my body took a nice hurting on me. It took a nice hurting on me, like when I first went back to it, where stomach was hurting, and like I it literally was like I was eating poison. And my body, it was like not, and I was like, damn, this is what fake food. Like when you don't eat it. I was alkaline for 2 years, but I ain't gonna lie. Once I came from home from prison, I never went back to alkaline. Which I always say that I'm gonna go back to alkaline when I got my own farm where I can eat my own foods. But right now, I'm on alkaline right now because I'm only eating basically fruits and vegetables and shit like that. But I never made that into my back into my diet because I ain't gonna lie, that transition um it hurt. You know what I mean? But that just to show you that most of the foods that we eating, it's fucking us up. But our body is just so used to it that it don't hurt you because you used to being fucked up. You know what I mean? But once you start eating healthy again and your shit flowing, and then you try to eat that boy, man, you'll see your system violently, when I say violently, rejects it. And I remember one time, like after 2 years, whatever, I'm like, it was hot as hell. I was in the car with my brother, and he had a Pepsi or something. I was just like, man, I took 2 sips. Damn near was like I drunk battery acid. So there, brother got back in the car. I'm over there sweating. Look like I'm about to die. Three sips of Pepsi, they almost took me out. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, this our body is not meant to eat this crazy shit we be eating. You know what I mean? Um, but that's my transition through that shit. Say it is like battery acid. Nah, definitely that shit. That's how I felt. I was crushed up on the side. I remember trying to make myself throw up, like, and then the gagging. Yo, don't try that shit. If you eating healthy, stay with it. It's going backwards. That shit could be. Whew. But let me see what other comments came in so I could answer them before I hit the dip on them. So I want to try lobster mushroom. Lobster mushrooms. It give you that lobster taste. You like lobster? You know that, wet meat, no homo. It give you that though, but it definitely tastes like lobster. I really feel like all of the mushrooms that the chicken of the woods really taste like chicken, but I could get some oyster mushrooms to taste like chicken. Um, Especially when you fry those things. But the lion's manes, that's one of the most healthiest mushroom. And this is the thing, mushrooms is so fucking good for us. I'm talking about like for your brain. It feeds your brain. Like, I love mushrooms so much. It don't make no sense. Even the psychedelic ones. But yes, master that. I think that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna make a, a cookbook, basically. All the foods that I cook. It's certain shit that I invented that you won't even find nowhere. I think that's gonna be my next move. I'm gonna make a cookbook where you could take simple ingredients and you could make it into some delicious ass food where I could give you step by step, and then being that I could make it into a PDF file where while you reading it and reading the ingredients and da 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 from your phone, you could click the link and it'll take you directly to the YouTube video of me actually cooking it. So I could show you step by step of me doing it, how it come out, how it should look, the proportions and all of that shit. So you could not only have it, but you could see it being done. Because I think that a lot of people want to eat healthy, but they don't know where to start. So this book could possibly put a nice little penny in my pocket as well as help other people, because that's the main thing is of helping other people. So I'm happy that I did have this conversation because yeah, I needed another project. So that's gonna be my project. And I know for sure once I come out of this diet I'm in, my birthday, the 19th, is when my diet supposed to end. My fruit, all fruit. But I'm not gonna go back to eating bullshit, eating chips and all that. I wanna, once this diet end, I wanna start my new diet. And I think that this cookbook, all my ingredients, my recipes, and you know what I mean, this is gonna get that going. So it say, you said, where do you find that? So where do you find mushrooms? You can find mushrooms, certain mushrooms at Whole Foods. I don't know where you located at, so that really matters a lot. But that's something that you could look up or use my best friend. This I'll be calling this my best friend now. Chat GPT is like my best friend. You could go to Chat GPT and you could say, lion's mane, organic lion's mane, all of the good mushrooms. Where could I find them near me? This is my address. They look anywhere. You know what I mean? And when I actually did that where I'm at, because I'm in Virginia and Manassas, like I don't know nothing about out here because I'm not from out here. I'm from New Jersey. So when I looked it up, it actually pulled up a mushroom farm that was about 15 minutes from my house, a mushroom farm. So I could go buy boxes of lion mane, boxes of all different types of mushrooms, mushroom powder. Some Chinese people, they got a whole farm. They grow all of the mushroom. So you may have a mushroom farm next door to you. You don't even know it. I did. You get what I'm saying? But you just gotta look into it. But I know for sure, like Whole Foods be having it. Farmers markets be having it. Stores like that. But most of the stores like Walmart and the regular brand stores, you're only gonna find the trash mushrooms. You're not gonna find the chicken of the woods. You'll probably find oysters. You'll probably find the polar bella, whatever them big stupid. I don't even eat none of the ones you be seeing all the time. That them shits, the nasty ones. The good ones though, you gotta probably do some work. You gotta find them. But it's people selling them. And then shit, I'm gonna tell you like this. If it ain't nobody around you selling them, you become that motherfucker. That could be your abundance waiting for you. You know what I mean? You'll never know. If nobody around you got it, you should be searching uh Chat GPT. How do I start a mushroom company? How do I grow my own mushrooms? And you'll see that it's way it's easier to grow mushrooms than it is to grow a whole bunch of plants that you grow, because mushrooms, all they really need is dark and wetness, and it's just certain shit. Like you don't gotta do a lot, and you get a lot from not doing a lot. So that's another thing that I might get into too once I got my mansion, because that's coming. I might have start growing my own mushrooms, because shit, if I'm gonna be growing my own fruits and vegetables, I might as well be growing my own meats. You know what I mean? So that's something you could definitely look into. But now I appreciate y'all. Definitely follow me on my YouTube. If you're not, definitely check out that Hypnotic Money Music. Definitely visit my website. If you didn't download the free book, Restoring Divine Feminine Energy, go do that right now, please. That's a life-changing book. And I know that. And this is another thing that I forgot to mention too. If you don't even like reading, I actually have that Divine Feminine book on my YouTube channel. So you could listen to the book right now. As soon as I get off live, you could go listen to the entire book. I kind of be forgetting that I put it up there um, as an audio book. So I do have an audio book of it on my YouTube channel. So definitely make sure you check that out. Make sure you share that with all of your loved ones and anybody that you want to have that information, because it is about restoring divine feminine, which means restoring your power. So, but peace and love. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. And please apply this information. This is not knowledge I'm giving you. I'm giving you information. You got to take this information, apply it to your life so you can make it into knowledge. So you can say, I know this thing, not I know about this thing. Peace and love. Peace and love.